Meet Stephanie Jojokian with Capital Movement, Inc.
I'm Stephanie. I'm the co-founder and executive director for Capital Movement. So we have open to the public classes on Fridays. So we are still in our same home base location, which is 3rd and G in Southeast. It's at One Life Gym now, but we offer classes for kids. So that is 5 to 12, and it's primarily hip hop, but then we torture them with their medicine, as I call it, with technique. So we do that, and that's every Friday for them, 6:30 to 7:30. At the same time, we offer an industry level class, so you have to have been training about 4 to 5 years at least. But we do have some members of the gym that come in anyway, and they're like, I'm just going to do the warm up and expose myself. So, you know, we're very open, and yeah. But those classes, we usually do about 2 hip-hop a month and 2 technical a month, and that technical can range from jazz to contemporary to African. So we do try to split the month in what the different styles are offering, and it's always a different instructor, because that was the basis that I was so into before. Like, I wanted to expose myself to a bunch of different artists. So our choreographers are from all over. As I mentioned, the inspiration was initially choreographers that don't live in the area, so that we could get these really like working in the industry type of choreographers that are working on Broadway or in LA doing different shows for different artists. But again, it starts one way, maybe a little selfishly, and grows into something bigger than me. And what it's grown into now is this the mentorship that we've provided. A lot of our dancers come back and they're setting dances or doing workshops for us. And so this year, our concert on May 4th at Arena Stage is going to be titled Homegrown, and it is choreographed by all of the artists that are from DC, from this area, that have come in and come back to work with us. And so, yeah, that's our choreographers this year are homegrown.
My name is Angela Thompson, and I am with ArKAngel Enterprises, LLC, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Stephanie Jojokian. And Stephanie and I have known each other through this whole world of dance, and I have admired you and followed you for quite a long time. We're going to talk a little bit more about the inspiration and how people can reach out and support towards the end of the video.
Awesome. Okay, well, this is easy talking to you, so. But it is a labor of love that has served the community for 19 seasons. Next season is 20, the big one. So yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, but I can't believe it's been that long. I co-founded it with one of my good friends, Amber Yancey. And to be honest, we did it selfishly in the beginning. I was dancing in companies, Tony Powell, Carla Perlo, the founder of Dance Place. I said to Amber, I went out to LA, I said, I'm gonna go study out there. And Andre Fuentes, who is not with us any longer, but is an amazing choreographer, artist. He danced with Britney Spears. He's just amazing. I took a different class with one of my good girlfriends, Vicki Smith, who's a founding member of Capital Movement. And while we were there, I watched his class from the window afterwards. Like, they had a little clear window you could watch it through. And I'll never forget, he was dancing to ordinary people, and the way that he treated the class and the way that he had them perform, and like the heart and soul that he was like giving them, and like you could just feel it in the class. And I was like, that is what we need. We need people like him to come. And so I reached out to him. I came back and told Amber. We decided we were going to do our first concert and bring in artists like Andre Fuentes and others to work with us. And we decided, if they're putting a piece of choreography on us, that is a piece of them. And so the way that they teach you, the way they give you feedback, the way they mentor you is very different. Just like on a team, if you make a basketball team, it's different from when you do a little clinic with them. They really want to see you get better. They really want to give you different feedback when you're doing something, deeper with them. So that was the premise. We donated all the proceeds at our first concert. It was at the historic Lincoln Theater. We donated all of our proceeds to Hoop Dreams, which provided scholarships for DC youth students in need that couldn't normally get to college. And they raised their money through basketball tournaments, but they had nothing to do with basketball. So it was just funny. But at any rate, the artistic director at that time, Janice Hill of the Lincoln Theater, would watch our rehearsals, as we were getting ready for the show. And then she saw the show, and afterwards she said, I want you all to be the resident company of the Lincoln Theater because you all represent DC. I see every size, every body shape, every age. And so, yeah, we were there, being able to have rehearsals and workshops and things like that for the few years, that we worked with her. It was fantastic. That's where we kind of got our start. And then Results the Gym, the previous owner of that's now been through a couple of different iterations of like Fun Life, Sport and Health, let us use his space for free. And I mean, it was like a community in DC of people that wanted to see what was happening. And then we started having more and more youth that wanted to train, to have the same experience that the professionals wanted to have. When I say professionals, we're like the working professionals in DC, in the creative economy, that we have our 9-to-5s, but then we're pursuing our passion and sharing that with younger dancers as well. So yeah, it started like a kind of, I want to have this experience. And then I didn't realize how many other people wanted to, and how many different age groups and how many different backgrounds. And now we strive to level the playing field in dance so that it's not just those that can afford dance, because it's very expensive. It really is. If you really want to train, it's very expensive, and to have performance experiences. And there's a lot of groups that can't even really rent a stage because it's, we've just been very lucky with support from the community to be able to have different outlets. We had 3 performances this year, as you know, the DC Artist Exchange, where we brought in other artists from the community. We just had our Intersections Festival that we worked with them on. And then, we're having our own spring concert, which is called our Capital Movement Project. So that was all we were in the beginning, the Capital Movement Project. So if somebody says that, I know they know us way back.
But what you offer is so timeless. I mean, we talk about 19 seasons going into the 20th, but it is so timeless. And what you give to the community is, you make it look effortless, but I know it's not effortless. And when I look at the kids on that stage, I know for a fact that they come from a different starting point. I know this not because of their performance, because I talk to them and I know different things. But when they're on that stage, you cannot tell. It takes you to a different place. Every performance tells a story, and the story is within each dancer. And that is what it is all about. And you can tell the emotion that comes out, no matter what kind of dance it is. You're receiving something on the other end, and you can tell that they are receiving it in their performance. And the technicality, it's hard to believe that some have danced for 20 years and others are picking up and infusing what their starting point is and gravitating. So it's a family of dynamic energy and just amazing showmanship. And it's just incredible to watch. And I've been, I'm a dance mom, I've got 2 babies of my own. They're not babies anymore, but 131 and 137. And I grew up, following their performance, and they were incredible, and it was fun to watch. And now I've got 2 little ones. My oldest one has 2 babies of her own, and they are part of your studio. And but they're young. I knew about your studio before they were old enough to come to your studio. Your reputation speaks volumes. And from a testimony perspective, just from the kids' perspective, my 9-year-old Charlie loves it. She loves it so much that her little sister picked up from the big one, and now they're all part of the dance family. And it is incredible to watch. How have you seen dance change the lives of your dancers?
Oh my gosh, there's so many different ways. Some have changed through confidence, which I think is amazing. Others learn to go through challenges and to push themselves, and so that reflects in school as well, as like not being scared to, like, if math is hard or if English, being able to just push through. I think the mentorship and the communication gives them a voice, so that always speaking up for yourself, being able to advocate for yourself is super important. And then we've even had as serious as those that have lost a parent through a tragedy have dance that is their outlet and their resource to get them through. And so, there's lots of different ways that I've seen it impact the lives.
I love that. So you said you were a dancer and you were inspired because of your love for dance. How much of what you related to back when you were getting started do you bring to bear with your company now?
My mom knew the clarinet and music and piano. And so that's what she pushed on, like, okay, you're going to do the piano, you're going to do clarinet. And I did. I did it. Somehow, did it well enough to be first chair All-State in Maryland. But the second I graduated, I was like, whoo, done with that clarinet. But my love was always dance, and I always tortured my family and made them watch me do shows. My yaya, my Greek grandmother, convinced me to like make people pay 50 cents in my family to watch me dance. So I would, she'd stand at the little like living room entrance with her hand out, like. Oh, it's so funny. My mom, I made her perform in a talent show with me in the 5th grade. I choreographed a dance. But I was a late dancer, so that was all. So when these, people say, oh, they're just TikTok dancers. Maybe I was the early like TikTok dancer, but there was no social media. I was just doing what I loved. My mom put me in dance, but I didn't know to work hard. I didn't have like a Miss Vicky or, Miss Taylor or somebody making me really work. And my mom only knew music, so she didn't know if I looked good or not. She was like, it's my daughter.
She was your mom. It's like, yeah,
she looks fine. She's great, And so I was just kind of doing it. Just I loved it. I made the Pom Squad in high school, and that's when I realized, ooh, I really like this. I really like dancing, and I liked the team environment of it. And so I went to college, and Jane Franklin at UNC Greensboro, she was the head of the dance department, and she said, I want you to take dance every day. And I was like, well, okay, but I'm already pretty good. She goes, no, you'll be good in a couple years. And I was like, what? So she stayed on me, made me dance, take classes every day there. It was amazing. It was hard.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated, she said, where are you going? Okay, here's Carla Perlow's information. She's the founder of Dance Place. Go to her. And so she gave me to her, and then I started dancing at Carla's company. I studied at one summer for the Aplanelli Intensive, where you audition and accepted there, which was an amazing experience. I would have done it again another year, but I tore my ACL.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I come from that late dancer, and I think it allows me to be able to break things apart, easier for people, explain them better. And as Sean, who is one of our founding members and executive director, she's like, you would give this all away for free if you could. Like, you would just want everybody. And it's like, I do. She's like, you practically do anyway. But
it's just phenomenal. And Sean is an incredible dancer as well. All of them really are. I don't take anything away from not any one dancer that you have. Everybody tends to know each other over their craft. And so what you do here really does speak volume. People know about CMI. It is a brand that speaks for itself. What your company has done is it's emerged, right? I'm seeing artists like Brianna Pippins to come out with her artistry and folks singing, and so it's not just dance anymore. It is that whole triple threat and coming up with the whole self, and that is inspiring because it lets the creativity come out in art form, but to be able to take that creativity and extend it out to whatever lens you have and whoever you touch in society. So kudos to you for that. What led you to blending other art forms into your world?
As I get older and I'm a mom, I'm like, well, what if people, kind of like me in the beginning, I didn't want to just do music. What if they don't just want to do dance? What if there's other paths in the arts that they could do? We're asking our dancers, like, what else do you do in the arts? Like, we don't even know. We just see you over here dancing, but like, what else do you do? And so we're like finding different talents, or then when a dancer or a person sees someone else dabbling in that, they're like, I wanted to do that too. I might try that. And so we've got dancers doing like videos that you see during the show, spoken words, singing. And for our teen apprentice, like formerly known as our pre-pro, we did a lighting workshop for them last year, and they got to light their own piece in the CMP show. And so this year we're working on a set design, costume design workshop for them. So really utilizing that teenage group to show them other paths in the arts that they might want to pursue.
That is awesome.
This summer we're doing a youth intensive. It's 3 days. And obviously we want to try to take dancers to the next level. So it's not just the technique, but we want to talk about performance quality and things like that they don't normally get. You can get, when you're training in dance, you can get to be a technician. And so we want to talk about quality. So we're going to do a 3-day intensive and then some more workshops in August, the first weekend, and start all over with auditions for all 3 companies, our kids, our teens, and our adults.
How young can they come to be a part of your group?
5.
Okay.
Yes.
And what type of skills do they need to have? to come and be a part?
So for that age group, I would say our CMI kids, we are just looking for that love to move, to dance, to want to be around peers and you know, just we want to expose them. That's why I said we do hip hop, but then we torture them. And I say torture, but they love it. I taught technique class the other day for them, and I had a blast with the CMI kid or the kids class. I was like, all right, guys, you know. But yeah, so that's 5 to 12, and then our apprentice teen company is 13 to 17, and that group, it's the opportunity to do 2 dancers with our professional company, and that is the best way for them to perform, because when they are around the professionals in dancing, their dancing goes up to the next level, right? Because you dance how you feed off of the energy of the people around you. And I feel like that happens with the kids, because we do a finale, as you know, that features kids, the teens, and the professionals all dancing together. And I swear those kids are dancing harder than they normally dance when they're right next to those adults. So I love the mentorship that happens between all the companies. And then the professional is 18 and up. So we've had many dancers that have grown up through the company. I think all of our apprentices right now started as CMI kids. We've got professionals now that were in our apprentice company. I mean, once you get to 19, 20 years, you're definitely seeing people grow up.
I love that. And just to tell you how people dance is a part of you forever. Brianna Pippin used to dance with my girls. And I've watched her when they were, I don't know, 4 or 5. And, you know, they were kind of buzzing around. And now look at her now. And it's amazing. And I will tell you another young person that you had, Cameron. You know, she went on to college, reputation. She could not say enough things, you know, about CMI, and every opportunity she gets, she comes back and she visits. So, I mean, that speaks volumes. And you guys have mentors as well. So I know that my Charlie, her mentor is London. And every time she sees London, I'll say, it's my mentor, and she loves it. And so the mentoring relationship also exposes them to a world beyond their current lens. And I think that is so incredible. You mentioned the young ones don't have to have experience. The young ones don't look like they don't have any experience. It looks like they have had to have years and years of experience. And I don't know what the secret recipe is. You don't have to tell me what it is, because you can own that. But they go in and they are fire. And I think part of it is because of that mentoring. So they look up to the older ones, and whoever you have teaching them, and then what they do together, it's this fire that is within them. And I just applaud you for that. And so that I see that at every level. But to see it so young just really warms my heart. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. How long have these kids been dancing? It looks like they've been dancing forever.
I know. They really work hard. And so they just do Fridays.
Yeah. And it's hard to believe.
I don't know how they, I mean, really, like, it's some tough Fridays, I'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, we just try to get the most, you know, and the other thing too is we want them to all have other dance experiences. So we love for them to train elsewhere and to do other things and perform other places. The well-rounded part of it maybe just helps, you know what I mean? That it's
absolutely,
very open and accepting, and like, we're going to push you really hard, but yeah.
I love that. And so you are a nonprofit, correct? So with nonprofits, you know, we depend on not we, but you guys.
Well, you know, though, from experience.
From experience, yes. I'm, you know, I'm on boards and that kind of thing. And so if folks wanted to pour into you and to make a donation, what is the best way to do that?
Oh my goodness. So I would say right now, I mean, joining our email list so that you can stay in touch for like the different asks that we do, and you can do that on our website, subscribe, but also we have our PayPal link right there, our donate button. And we're currently trying to build sustainers. So that could be $10 a month that people give, because those sustaining type of donations, I mean, well, every donation is amazing, but you know, to be able to have like, okay, we know we've got these people that are just supporting us throughout everything and staying involved, that would be wonderful. And yes, they can go to Capital Movement, CAPITOL, movement.org, and donate there, subscribe to stay in touch. We also are asking our sustainers and people to consider donating. We do a free day of dance matinee every year. So our Capital Movement Project offers the day before the actual show to the public a free day dance matinee for DC public school kids. And we actually are open to other schools attending. We bus in a group that, it's a small community group, Community Bridges for Girls, and it's in Silver Spring, and we'll bring them down for the show. But yeah, last year we had 400 students that we brought in and attended, and when they, we danced and then we did a talk back. We let them ask questions to the dancers about what they were seeing, some of the social impact pieces. And what I love is those dancers were most inspired by the CMI kids, their peers.
One thing I encourage everybody to do is to look you guys up on YouTube. All of what you're talking about is available for viewing, and that's magical as well. But I saw the interviews with some of those kids that you guys busted, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
They were so cute.
What's your favorite dance? The one in the red. I'm like, okay.
The kids, they loved the kids.
Yes.
And you should have seen those kids dance so hard that day, because they were like, we have our own fan crowd. Like, we have our own fans out here,
It was amazing.
The adults are like, well, we're just here for, I don't know.
Okay, little ones, do your thing.
Yeah.
So if I am a dancer and I want to join, what is the best way? Do I come just for the Friday classes, or do I wait for auditions, or do I do both? What is the best time? Because we're already at the time of this recording, it's in March. We're celebrating Women's History Month this month. So can I join in March, or do I need to wait until an opening comes up?
That's a great question. I say, well, the auditions will happen the first weekend in August.
Okay.
So that's Saturday and Sunday. So that's when we'll officially be accepting new dancers for all ages, all companies, kids, teens, professionals. But before then, I always advise people, come take classes, come meet us. You don't want to go into a new environment, work environment, right? Get hired for a gig and you don't really know people. So get to know us, take some classes, and then the auditions and workshops will be the first weekend in August.
Let's talk about the Cherry Blossom Parade.
Yes.
So that opportunity has kind of grown, right? We talk about cultures and, where we come from, but you invited your friend and her company from Japan. And you had two groups that didn't even speak the same language verbally, but they spoke the same dance language, and you made magic happen. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. So Makiko Nakayama, we danced, we worked together. She was a cheerleader for the Washington Redskins back when they were the Redskins. And so, yeah, we worked together. We went on tours, military tours all over the world together. And when she moved back to Japan, she started a youth program there teaching dance. And her main thing is she's trying to teach Japanese youth, primarily girls, confidence. And so she used that through cheer and poems. And then we would, I've done some of the lesson planning with her. We would slide in English words so they could start to learn some English. But yeah, so then the Cherry Blossom, we decided, let's work together. Bring your group here. We'll perform in the parade together. So we learn choreography on video. They have some, we have some, we share it. And then we perform for the Cherry Blossom Parade and in the festival.
Dance is the universal language, and it's incredible. So kudos to you for being that voice that we all need to hear, and for what you're doing for the community and what you're doing for the dancers and for everybody that's tuned in to watch them. Everybody, this is my friend and now yours, Miss Stephanie Jojokian with Capital Movement.